Hey guys, welcome to Team Leader Tuesday. Can you believe October is almost over? Where is the time going? Okay, so today during this 30 minutes during Team Leader training, we're going to talk about following your fears, right? So I think that fears can be like little clues, and if we follow them, it can actually open the door to a lot of opportunities and a lot of success for you and your teams in your business. So I recently read this book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. So if you guys don't know Elizabeth Gilbert, she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, and she's also the author of The Signature of All Things, which I thought was so much better than Eat, Pray, Love. I liked Eat, Pray, Love, but The Signature of All Things is just such an amazing, amazing book. So I enjoyed this book by her. It's nonfiction, and it's all about creative living beyond fear. And as I was thinking about what to do this training on, fear came to mind because what we do selling these amazing children's books to kids all over the country, this involves quite a bit of creativity. And that's something that sometimes I think maybe we don't think about, but Home Office and Usborne provides us with the tools, with the products and the means to sell those products, but how we sell them, that is completely up to us. And I think that sometimes fears and creativity go hand in hand, as Gilbert points out in this book. So a lot of our training today is based on this book, so I'm not going to quote her like every single time I say something from the book, but I'm just saying that now. Definitely want to be sure to give credit to her amazing ideas. Okay, so let's talk about fear for a minute, just in general. So the goal is not to become fearless, right? That would not be a good thing, because fear is actually a very important thing. If we didn't have fear, we would do a lot of silly, crazy things like walk off bridges and get eaten by bears and all kinds of silly things. So fear actually helps us and can protect us. And we need fear in a lot of areas of our life, but what Gilbert says is that we don't need fear in the realm of creative existence, right? When we're making things and creatively trying to expand our business, grow our business, fear doesn't really have a place there. But here's the thing, you don't just want to kick fear to the curb and say, go away fear, and try to ignore it. That usually doesn't work. And if any of you guys have dieted or whatever, and you've tried to not eat chocolate, excluded a whole food group, chances are you're going to want that more just because you're thinking of not eating it. So same with fear. If you try not to think about it, you're probably just going to think about it even more. So what we're going to do in this training today is just kind of get cozy with fear, with the idea of what it is we're afraid of, and see if we can travel alongside fear. So that is an analogy that she comes up with in the book, which I really love. It's this road trip analogy, right? So she says that if you can't learn to travel comfortably alongside your fears, then you'll never be able to go anywhere interesting or do anything interesting, because your fears are just going to say, no, stop. And that's the end game. Instead, she suggests making plenty of room for fear. Make all kinds of room for fear. Let it stretch out. Let's picture we're in a car. We're on a road trip. Let's let fear stretch out in the back seat. It can have all the room at once. But there are some rules. We can invite fear along on the journey, and we can recognize and respect fear, but it's not allowed to have a voice. It's allowed to have a seat, but it's not allowed to have a voice, and it's not allowed to have a vote. It's not allowed to suggest detours. It's not allowed to fiddle with the temperature, and it's not even allowed to touch the radio. And above all else, fear is forbidden to drive. So we're going to go on a short 30-minute journey here, and I hope you will enjoy this training and comment on the posts. Thanks.